We've got our porcupine quill soaking. We've got all the different colors that we're going to need. We've got the light turquoise, or the light blue, and we've got the little darker. We've got the red, we've got yellow. We don't have many yellow, but we only have one row. The white and the dark, actually it's a grape. It gives you almost a black color when you dye it. So we got all those. Don't have nothing there, there's some coffee. We've got everything set up. Here's the two possible patterns. I've modified it. The top one is the one that I showed on the previous video. On this one I've got two rows of red. It's kind of, once I get into it, it's going to be a little different than the previous ones I've done. I've got the handle marked off, got the center point, got the two ends is kind of where I want to take it to. As for if I want to do the two red or the single red, and I may do if I do the two red and start with the two red, I may end up having to take a blue or so out, and you can kind of gauge it by sliding this in or out. It kind of falls in that area, so it'll look good. What I'm using is previous quilled handle, and just taking the measurements and figuring out roughly how many that I can fit into onto this one. So we'll I'll probably start with the two red, because the two red looks pretty neat. So we'll go ahead and we'll get the thread. We've got the deer sinew already put together. We'll get it set up, get my leather belt on, and we'll get started. Another quick little item to make sure that we're not getting too much of one color for each strip. We want it to try and line up as best we can each time we end a color right along this center line. Of course, it's not gonna get perfect every time, and the back you're not going to see. The front is what you'll see. But I've got a little strip of paper, and wrap that around, bring it back to the center line, and then take that, and I've got this set up to match that. This will be the length for one single wrap around the handle. And so we'll start with the white, and we'll get what are we sitting at here? About almost 4 inches, 3 3/4 inches of white, and that's when we know we need to change over to the red. So we've got the string set up, and we're ready to start. We're trying to do the white. We're not trying to have any of the black of the tip show. So I'm trying to make sure that I've got it far enough across. Periodically you'll have a little show through, but I'm trying to minimize how much of the black will show. And remember to slide, after you get the quill worked on, plaited on there, slide that down towards the end. That way you get a nice tight wrap as you're going. Alright, there's our white distance. So now we're getting ready to, we'll grab a red, and we'll start plating with a red. And the knife handle at that point is still basically the same diameter, so we'll use the same measurement on this one to start to get the distance for the red. So there's our red started. So we'll go ahead and I think I'm going to chicken out. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the single red because I want to make sure I've got plenty of room for the blue. So I'll do a single red, and then we'll go back to a white again. Then we'll start our blue. Okay, there's our red. Now we'll start on a row of white again. We're almost to the point where we've got enough on here that we can move it over to the knife handle itself and start wrapping around the knife handle. So we've got a white, a red, and a white. So now we're gonna, it's long enough that I'm gonna take it off and wrap it around the handle, and then we'll start with the blue. There's our first 3 rows now. And so now we'll start the blue, and we're going to do about 6 rows or so. You still see the center mark right there. So we keep that in mind. There's a yellow will go there, and then the dark purple, and then a red. So we'll take blue up to where we think we're going to start that red, and then we'll stop there. We got to make sure that what we're shooting for is that both sides of this matches. Alright, we're down. We've got about 2 lengths, or 2 rows, sorry. 2 rows of the dark blue. I'll show you here. So we got a pretty good length of the dark blue. And now we're going, this is our dark blue. The light blue is not a whole lot different, but we're going to go ahead and swap over to it now. Looks like about 5 wraps of blue is what we're going to get. So now we're going to go to the red, then the black, then the yellow. Well, there's the red. We'll wrap this around here and kind of see where we're hitting. Loosen the string up. Okay, there's our, I don't have a marker. There's our center. That's where we want our yellow to be. So we're hitting it pretty good. So our yellow, this is about the width of, not quite. Our yellow will lay right there, and then our black will be right here. And this will still, I can slide this down just a little bit. So we'll put our black on, and might just go ahead and do the black and the yellow, and then we'll wrap this around and see what it looks like. Alright, there's the black. Got a row of black. And now we'll do the single row of yellow, which should look pretty neat. There's the first yellow. Let me add another one on there. Get the color to show up there. Okay, there's the first yellow. So we'll finish up this row of yellow, and we'll go back to a black again. Alright, we got the yellow one. Now actually we're just a little over halfway. So we'll reverse this and continue on up the handle. Well, there's our row of red. Now we're going back with the blue again. We'll keep going with the blue. Alright, we're down to the last 3 rows. There's all our blue. Now we'll do a white, a red, and a white. And then we'll finish up the top end of the... Look at the last, starting on the last row of red. Back that off a little bit. And we'll get this red and the white. Alright, here's the one we was looking for. The last white one. Gonna get it plaited on here real quick. Okay, there's the tail end. Now what we'll do is take this leftover sinew thread, and I'll just chew it a little bit and get it soft, and then we'll wrap those two together. Then we'll wrap it around the end of the handle. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, we got all the plating done. Now we're just going to I've got a whole bunch of elk sinew. And just get us a couple long pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and chew these and get them soft. And I'll go ahead and wrap it a few more times around the top just to lock everything in. Well, there's the finished knife. I got the end of the handle all wrapped in sinew. I'm putting just a touch of hide glue on it, just enough to hold it in place. And took the cover off the handle, or off the blade, I mean, sorry. So, I think it turned out pretty good. Pretty neat. Basically, I've got 6 different colors in there, counting the 2 different blues, which there's not, you can see the difference a little bit, but I mean, it kind of blends together. I put the darker to the outside and the lighter in the center. So, anyway, turned out good. Hope you enjoyed watching.